Scary Kids Scaring Kids dropped their new album, Maps Written in Water. Very excited about a new Scary Kids Scaring Kids record. I love this band, and I always love to, see them make their way onto the playlist. The record kind of just appeared out of thin air. I know that they announced it, but I missed all the announcements and shit, and all of a sudden I go on their Spotify page and there's an album coming out in 2 weeks, and I'm like, all right, what the fuck? I knew they were dropping singles, we were covering them, but I missed whatever announcement post there was. So record came out this past Friday, and it's really solid. This is the second release since they've came back doing the same thing that they did on the first record, but I think the first record post hiatus, I think they've got it figured out a little bit more this time, because they, like I said, they did the same thing, which is they don't have a vocalist in the band. They have a live vocalist, and he's on one of the songs, but they pull in features for each song because they don't have a vocalist in the band, which is such a cool and unique idea. And I think it was executed a lot better this time. I think the first record, there was a lot of excitement with the band coming back, and I think that they went for, there were some features on that record that made a lot of sense, but then there were some that was like, holy shit at the name, and then you listen to the track and it was kind of like disjointed feeling. And it, some of the songs felt like it was more so about the namesake and not about, did the vocalist actually, did the vocalist really do the song justice, because there were some absolutely massive names on that record, and there are big names on this album as well. You've got Lacey Sternum and Taylor Hanson from Hanson, Cat Leon, you've got Craig from Escape the Fate, Toby from Emery, Mike from Volumes and Fire from the Gods, and Tillian, formerly of Dance Gavin Dance, as well as Andy from Monuments. Like, there are still massive names on this record, but these songs and these vocalists feel like they fit the songs better and do the songs more justice than that was my biggest gripe with the last record, because I was like bummed out that I liked the record, but it wasn't something that I consistently came back to. And I thought at first it was because like the band is back and it's not really like it's the band, but it's not really the band. And that's certainly part of it. But like the first record opened with a feature from Spencer from Ice Nine Kills, and then had a feature from Noah from Bad Omens. And that was before Bad Omens really took off, but they were still a big name at the time. And, those songs, the vocalists didn't really feel like they like, especially the Noah one in particular. I just remember it feeling like it kind of felt a little out of place in a sense, and that was kind of my feeling with the first record. And I came to that conclusion listening to this record because the features feel like they are all of the songs across the board, and there were certainly songs on the last record that the vocalist did the songs justice. Spencer from Under Oath, there were two Spencers on the record. I felt that he really did that song justice. That was one of my favorites off of the first record back post hiatus. I'm just going to keep calling it the first record back.
No, because it makes sense.
There was a several year gap, many years between the previous releases. This record, it opens with State of Disrepair with Paul Rose on it, and that song almost to me feels like a return to form in a sense for the band. And the record does not follow that, where like every song feels like this nostalgic return to form, but I think that kind of got me in the right feeling going into the record, because I was excited for the album knowing that it was coming out, but kind of went in with cautious optimism because of my feeling on the first record, and kind of expecting to come out with a few songs that I thought were really solid, and then the rest being like, all right, like this was cool, but I've got the songs I'll listen to and I'll move on. And then the record just keeps going. Songs like Adrenaline and Aftermath, really keep the record going, and we get away from this nostalgic feeling that I got with the first song, and kind of go into what is now the modern Scary Kids Scaring Kids sound, and the features are just doing the songs more justice, and I really like that. The people on these songs really feel like they make sense for the song. Even like, the Tillian feature is something that could have been could have been totally out of left field and made no sense and been really disjointed, but the song felt like a song that Tilian would be on because it was very like proggy and technical and like the stuff that he routinely does. And I don't think that there's anything wrong, because this new era of Scary Kids Scaring Kids is kind of a little bit all over the place, so it makes sense for the project. It is no longer solely a post-hardcore band. As much as I love those first two records, they're doing a little bit of everything. So them coming out with a song that Tilian makes a shitload of sense on, and then the next song being Charades, which has Andy from Monuments on it, which those two bands like kind of live in the same sphere, but one's a lot heavier than the other. You know, it just makes it just the songs make a lot more sense. I really like Blackout with Rat Park. I like the closer, Rise and Fall. I think it's a very nice way to kind of end the record. All You Needed is a fantastic song. Every single song on this record I genuinely really enjoyed. I came away enjoying this album a lot more than I did. Sorry for all of the fucking pre-bullshit to get to this point of I like the album, but I had a lot of explaining to do because I put a lot of things together in my head about a record I listened to 3 years ago by listening to this album this morning. So yeah, I really enjoyed this record and I've understood a lot of things, and I'm really now all the way on board with the new era of Scary Kids Scaring Kids.
I'm very happy to hear that. I don't remember the first record back from hiatus, to be completely honest. So that shows it didn't really stick. It didn't really do much for me. I do remember liking the Spencer Charnas feature, but I believe in that era I was just liking anything Ice Nine Kills. But I mean, I do remember that song kind of fucking. So
yeah,
I'll leave that. I will not, try to take anything away from that. Going to this record, I was very excited because, I mean, Scary Kids Scaring Kids is like one of those bands that we've always just kind of like not made fun of or joked about, but it's just like, so it's just kind of like, even if I don't listen to them on the regular, it's still it's still the silly little Twitter thing. A lot of respect towards the band, a lot of respect towards their approach of how they're continuing the band. I really like their ability to grab almost any vocalist and be able to incorporate them into their sound and incorporate them into an album, to still make it something cohesive that fits into their discography, but it still has kind of the essence of whichever singer from whichever band is featured on the song. So I'm excited for the record either way, because to me, it's just kind of like a collaboration record with almost all of my favorite artists at the time. So seeing the lineup, seeing all of the artists and the features on it, seeing Craig Mabbitt, seeing Tilian, seeing Andy from Monuments, I was stoked, and I was sold on this record immediately, because I was like, you can't have these fucking 3 features and it's gonna sound like ass. There's no way, because these people are way too strong of artists, way too strong of writers, vocalists to produce something that's gonna sound like shit. And also, it's Scary Kids Scaring Kids, so it's like on top of that, it has to just sound good. Thankfully, I was right. Yay! The record is fucking incredible. This shit moves by so quickly for me. I'm sure it's long, because it's 41 minutes, so it's kind of on the regular side for albums, but on the longer regular side, if that makes. Usually 30 minutes is the regular, the happy medium. 40 minutes runs a little over. But this record to me just goes by so quickly. Every song is worth noting. Every song is catchy. They all stand out and kind of stand on their own, but still fit into a cohesive record. As I mentioned earlier, you're able to hear kind of like the bass of the song being Scary Kids Scaring Kids, but at the same time, it does feel like a Monument song, or it feels like a Tilian song, Dance Gavin Dance, or a solo project, because he's doing solo music now, but it's more poppy, so it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to compare it to that, but he's been Dance Gavin Dance for so fucking long, so I'm going to say that. And the fucking Escape the Fate track, the Craig Mabbitt track, does sound a little bit like Escape the Fate. It's not as heavy as influence as the other ones, in my opinion, but for me, it's like Tilian and Andy have such strong and notable vocals, where it's iconic vocals is what I should be saying. Tilian specifically, for me, is one of the ones where it's like any song he's on is going to sound like a Dance Gavin Dance track to me, because that's just
when you found him.
That's just him.
Yeah.
It's just fucking him. And that was my first introduction to him. And They don't make them like that anymore. You know, it's like in the Pierce the Veil and the Donovan Maleros and the, you know, the Kellens and that type of high pitched vocal. Um, so going off of that, all of that to say, wraps up. I really enjoyed this record. It exceeded my expectations. I didn't have many, not that I wasn't looking forward to it or I had too high of expectations. It was just I went in very neutral for this record, but still looking at the track list kind of antsy because I was like, oh, I know these songs are going to be good. I'm very excited for this run specifically. Um, I liked it a lot. As I said, my favorite tracks were the Charades, All You Needed, and I really liked Adrenaline. I also really enjoyed Rise and Fall and Rise and Fall Part 2, which were the closers. Um, Something about those just hit a note for me in my brain, especially Rise and Fall Part 2, because it wasn't as much of a like big track. It's a minute and a half, but it's just something about it really tied the album together for me. Really felt like as soon as it started, I was like, oh, this is the end. There's nothing else after this, is there? I looked at the track list, it was the final closer.
Yeah.
Incredible record. I think they pulled it off very well. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Really no notes. Yeah.
Hell yeah.